Oh. Registration categories: an approved person. Yes. Compliance official specialist. Oh, a floor employee. A securities lending representative. A member of the exchange. A market maker and authorized trader equities. An options member, a securities trader compliance officer, a floor clerk. Now, this U4 is something that I did fill out quite often. Yes. And there's what's known as jurisdictions of the broker dealer agent. Yeah. And or the investment advisor representative registration request. Yes. Now, for every state of the United States that has any knowledge of this torture, yes, I'm suing all of you. Every one of you. Now, I know that you dislike the idea of these lawsuits, yes, but I wasn't a resident of Washington State when my wife kidnapped my sons, yes, and I was never allowed to get any of my personal items, yes. I wasn't given a dissolution of marriage, no. And it was never required of my wife to return all my personal items. Now, affiliated firm CRD number, affiliated firm name. Could you get me all the affiliated firms that all have CRD numbers? That would be from the biggest brokerage to the smallest. And then the idea, do you have an independent contractor relationship? Yes. Office of the employer's address? Yes. Okay. Now, requested SRO jurisdiction registration, then requested applicable. Now, affiliated firm fingerprint information. I'm going to want all those fingerprints. And if I find that you made a dog that has your fingerprints, exactly how detailed are these lookalikes? Now, I would think that fingerprints are uniquely different. But did your dog, your lookalike sheriff, chief of police right now, do they have the same fingerprints? I think we need to do some testing. Give me all the fingerprint locations where you can be fingerprinted. Yes. And then get me the sheriff's look-alike twin brother that he says he has to protect right now. I like to see the difference between the fingerprints of the actual sheriff that was elected to office, yes, and his look-alike brother that says that he is the sheriff. Now, if the fingerprints are different, yes, I would say that an imposter has actually been having the authority of a sheriff. Mm, mm. I think we need to do some fingerprinting today. Yes. Why don't you get me every police officer in Swim and Port Angeles and Port Townsend? Yes. And then get me their lookalikes. If I can prove in court that the actual individual that has a badge on is not the individual that has the fingerprints of the employment, yes, I'm going to sue every police department of the United States for allowing any person to look like a cop when they're not. Seattle Police Department. I want the fingerprints of every cop. And then I want to know, did any of you get suckered into this idea coming to find out right now? Sheriff Ozzy, Sheriff Snazzo, every sheriff's department in this. How are you? Listen, Ozzy, get me your dog. We're going to use that fingerprinting machine. Yes. For every time we find somebody that looks like the sheriff but wasn't elected, yes, we're going to compare the fingerprints between the two. Ouch. And for every sheriff that was corrupted with this idea of having a top secret look-alike, yes, I'm going to sue every fucking one of you right now. Now, I know, Snazza, it was important for you to come to find out. But if you got a twin, yes, that you've been trading places with for the last 10 years, yeah, if your fingerprints and your twin's fingerprints are not exactly the same, you're getting sued and going to prison. Oh, so why don't you get me the National Sheriff's Association? Yes, every employee of every sheriff's department in the United States of